just noticed something was on my glasses. Better. Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Peace, Love, and Stitches. I'm Sarah. Today is the 1st of July. Back for a little 2 weeks of stitching. I have had a very large amount of 2 weeks. Let's see, how many, let's tally real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-ish projects. Not anything quite like huge-ish of note yet. No finishes yet. I do have some like goals, and I do have some printout sheets to help me do some goals. I can get my tablet to do what I want it to do. There we go. So we're just gonna kind of jump right in. I'm filming this a little earlier on Saturday instead of waiting until this evening. Just because I want to catch a little bit of better light. My hair is wet. Damp. Because I worked this morning. That was a loud noise. Whatever that was. I don't know. For those of you who are wondering, I'm drinking Canada Dry Blackberry Ginger Ale. I just found this at a really neat store we have here in South Carolina, and where I live in South Carolina. So I live in the Greenville area. And if you are around there, if you live close to Easley, South Carolina, there's a store there called Winslet's. They have some really fun sodas in there if you like sodas. Of course, this is ginger ale. I am a little bit partial to Sprite and ginger ale nowadays. I usually love Mountain Dew, but I have kind of not been really feeling the Mountain Dew stuff anymore, so Sprite and ginger ale it is. And since this was like only 99 cents for the can, we were trying it. Usually I drink Starry, but not today. But anyway, we are just gonna kind of jump into everything and see how quick this can go, and then I will kind of talk about a little bit, maybe talk a little afterwards about the possibility of a different type of video. I really have not figured out if I want to do this video or not, but what I'm kind of thinking about in my head. So we'll just go ahead and start off. I'm going to start off with what's on top, which is going to be this really big one that is, so this is basically a supersized. It was one from Etsy, from Xana Cross Stitch, I think. It's the, where are you? Stained Glass Disney Heroes. So, unplug. Okay, that might help. You might not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to. Preparedness is always helpful, isn't it? I'm sure y'all have seen this one a lot. But in case you haven't, I'm only at 0.403%. I worked on this one day just because I wanted to do something different. I had just really wanted to do something. Made a crackly sound and it's made me stop. I wanted to do something different, and I was really feeling this one, so here we go. Turn brightness way up high for work. Don't need that here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this is the big piece. I am over here. What? I'm just up here with Maleficent in that corner, and I have really not done a whole heap of lot, as you heard. 0.043%, which is only 2,935 stitches out of 684,315, which is why it's roughly a supersized, because my supersize is like 750 is what I have right now, or at least the one that is started, because I have technically two others that aren't started, and several of these big Disney ones that are not started. This is 1/1 full cross on 28 count. I will probably never do one this big this way ever again. But the idea is to take this one, and I'm just taking it in sections. So right now I'm going to work all through Maleficent's section, and then I'm going to pick another little space that connects to her section and fill that in. That is how we are working it. So I'm not going to unfold this ginormous piece of fabric, because this is all I've got. So there she is. You can see her face right here. But I worked mostly up here for the black. Yeah, I did mostly the black. I don't think I did anything else. No, I did too. So I did mostly black, and then I did a little bit up here in on her, like her horns that she has. They have blue in them, and I did some of the blue for just a little different color. And I only worked on it one day for 305 stitches, and I had just gotten to a point where it was too big fabric, that it was getting bulky, and I still haven't figured out the best game plan for me with this one yet. We're working on it. When I figure it out, if you heard that, you might have heard that. There's a cat somewhere outside my door, and I'm hoping my dog doesn't go nutso and hear that, because that would be loud, right? Since she's in here. Now it's bad. But yeah, I didn't really work on this. I had enough after that 300 and was just like, no, I don't want any more. But it's because it's really big and bulky. So once I figure it out, hopefully, I hope that didn't pick up. Hopefully it will be easier to work on. Okay, next thing, I've only worked on it once so far this time, but I really was just feeling something simple, and that is a little snowman stamp kit. Supposed back here. That's how much stuff I have done on it. This is the back of it, by the way. And as you can see, my hoop is still attached, because I was just filling in over here. I don't know how many stitches I did on it, but I did fill in a good little bit of the blue background part, bringing it down. I just figured I'd fill in my hoop and then maybe move on. So he's kind of chilling. He's one of my closer to a finish, like a stamped kit. I have one more that would be deemed really close to being finished for a stamped kit, and I just found it the other day. I was like rummaging through some of my stuff, and I was like, oh, look at that, that's where that went. Okay, next is Lovebirds, and I only worked on it once as well throughout these 2 weeks, but I had worked on it the last 2 weeks. I worked on it 5 days in the last 2 weeks, but this set of 2 weeks was 1 day, and he's upside down, so I don't really remember. Oh, I was working and filling on the top, filling in the background in the top. That's where I left off. He's not too, we're slowly filling him in. ones are simple to pull out, but at the same time, it's like sometimes I struggle with them because this one has a lot of blends. This is Lovebirds. This is it's a Riolis kit. But sometimes they just have a lot of blends. This one in particular has a good bit of blended threads to give you all the colors, and there's just, it's not full stitching because like the white areas is not all the way stitched, and you'd think this would be really easy to finish because it's only 7 3/4 inches by 7 3/4 inches, so it's not big at all in terms of like stitched area. It's just blends. Blends are a lot. But what can you do? Alright, next is Hot Air Balloon by Total Cross Stitch. This is 1/1 full cross on 28 count fabric, and I stitched on it for 1 day as well. I did that in the last video too, where I only worked on it 1 day. This is one of my my pieces from Total Cross Stitch, which is my company. It is sitting at 17.65%. I think I said that I stitched on it for a total of 248 stitches. Let's see here. Boop. Show you guys a picture of what it will look like. So I'm currently working to try to finish up have my 3rd page finished on this one. This is what it looks like. So that is what I have. Mine are not very big at all. This one is stitch size is 250 wide by 350 high. In terms, mine are like, there's 78 colors in this, which I have since done other patterns that have more than 78 colors. I just was trying something different to see what I could get. It's not bad at all. My sizes of my patterns are generally in like the they're comparable to Heaven and Earth Design Minnie size is what I'm getting at. So that is Hot Air Balloon, and this is where I'm at. So I'm just bringing this all the way over, filled in there. So we're just bringing it over and just working away through there. Hopefully one of these days we'll hit that hot air balloon in the middle. We're getting close, and we're getting there. I think I have the page below this one because I think I only have 400, just a little bit left in this corner. And then this page below is where I will wind up hitting part of the hot air balloon. So that's kind of fun. I know I sound like I'm talking fast, and it's because I really truly am, because I'm trying not to linger, because I know how loud my dog gets, and there's a cat crying at a door out there, and if she pays attention to that, we could have a really loud mess on our hands. But I may pause the video for a minute and go get rid of the cat. Well, that was short-lived. I thought I got rid of her. She's back. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. Hot air balloon was what we talked about last. So, next in front of me is Peacock, which is by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is a regular size, I believe, regular size chart. It is by Elizabeth Welker. I worked on it for 1 day. Again, boy, we are really on these 1 day kicks, aren't we? That's something else. 5 stitches. This is Peacock. We are at 0.57%, which is legit just the corner, and haven't really moved a whole lot. Just brought down, just keep doing stair-steppy downs. In my 10x10s, we were in the middle of finishing this one at the base, or at the bottom of this step down. I was doing, this is 1/1 10th stitch on 32 count. Oh jeez, the cat's gonna kill me. It's really nice. I am gridding as I go. I use a Bowen chalk pencil for when I grid as I go. And it's really nice. I don't mind it. I like this pattern. It's fun. It's super simple. It's not my normal style, but it's been enjoyable. Very enjoyable. The next thing that I worked on was the Frosted Pumpkin Sal, Mystery Sal, the Castle Homecoming. Part 2 came out on June 22, there we go, June 22nd. I was like, January, it's wrong. June 22nd. I worked on it for 2 days, and I'm like over halfway done. So, part 2 is this bridge, and then I think there was this flag, started this flag here. I have to do backstitch in the bricks on the bridge and just finish out. I'm almost done stitching all of the bridge. There's a little bit more that comes out here, and then I think there's one more flag that gets started, and a wizard, and some magic that goes in. So I almost finished all the stitching on the bridge in 2 days. I was really having a blast working on this. It was so much fun. This is 2/2 on 32 count Belfast linen. Excuse me. Belfast linen. Picture this plus in the color Valor. And I really like this color. I'm probably gonna see if I can see about getting more of this color for something else to stitch on. I just don't know what that will be yet. The next things, I didn't have this one unzipped, sorry. Next thing I worked on is Cupcake Dreams by Tilton Crafts. Now, my numbers on this one is a little funky because I took out all the background, so we're just going to use those numbers. So in terms of that, this is my furthest along full coverage because I took out the background. It counts. It totally counts. This was a free chart from Tilton Crafts. I don't know if it still is or isn't, but it's like a little chocolate cupcake. Now there are strings going everywhere because there were strings going everywhere because I did a center start, and of course whenever I start and end threads on the front, it's just a different array of stuff, and of course we've kind of been trying to do some color completing. However, there are just so much like up here, over there, all over the place kind of thing, so we're just taking it in strides. I worked on this for 3 days. Pardon me while I tally this up really quick. I completed 712 stitches on those 3 days. So at, with the background already marked out, it's at 72.41%. So this one's pretty far along. Yay, when you do that. There are, I tallied it up through my stitch pile, tallied it up. Well, there is, let me make sure that's accurate, because I don't want to say that and it be inaccurate. Inaccurate? Inaccurate. Okay. I don't want to say this number and it not be right. Hurry, computer. Come on. How do we know? It is correct. Okay, so I have 8,258 stitches left on this piece. And my brain is like, well, if I stitched on it 150 stitches a day, I could have it done in September. No, August. August or September area. I just can't keep up with that. This piece is very, I don't know, there's a lot of bits in it where it's like some of the colors just don't flow, even though I've gotten quite a bit in it. I've got stuff everywhere, but it's like I haven't figured out how to make the piece flow correctly for me to be like, oh yeah, we're in a groove kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure that by the time I figure that out, I'll be done with it, which is not a bad thing. I just, whenever I work with stuff, there has to be like a way that colors move in different stuff, but this one's colors, they just kind of splot, 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 sprinkles, and just, you know, it just doesn't flow the same way as some of the other ones that move a lot better. But we're trying to do this one and hopefully see if we can finish this one this year, because that would be a blast to finish one. That would be little but big. You know what I mean? So that one got a good bit of work. I'm not gonna show that one yet. I will go ahead and show my ginormo supersize dude, and of course he was worked on roughly every day. There were some days where I just didn't work on it, but I made up for it the next day. Gosh, I didn't even tally up how much I got on this one. I should. And I should show you where we were at. So I am tracking the percentage though. That's good, right? Percentage is 2.40%. This is not a supersized, y'all. And this is supersized. Once Upon a Fairytale, it is a max color as well, so there are, I think it's 239, excuse me. I was in there. We were there. 250. I know y'all have seen this picture, but I'm going to show you anyway, just to give you the, that's my hair that was touching me, that scared me to death. There is a supersized max color Once Upon a Fairytale. Yes, I worked on this for 322 stitches every day. No, I have not done it today. We will get there eventually, but before I go to bed, there will be 322 stitches to put in this. Let me quickly tally up what we have done. And there were some days where I worked more. But it all, I wish I did that much. It all evens out in there. Alright. Oh, I did more this time than I did last week, so that's kind of cool. So we stitched on it for this 2 weeks and got 4,153, but like stitches in, or 2.40%. And that's actually really good. So that's nice. From the last YouTube video, it went from 1.82% to 2.40%. That's cool. That's a lot. I like that. That's so nice. Do I have a picture of what it looks like the last time? You guys saw it. Let's see. I think the last time you guys saw it, it would not. I don't. I should have taken a picture of it. Well, I don't have a picture to show you of what it looked like last time. I'm going to have to remind myself to do that this next time, is take that picture and then make sure it's there to show you guys. But I did manage to finish page 2, which is this page, so that was cool. And then I started what is page 3 to me, but I can't remember what page it is in procession of the pattern itself. It is we're doing the 2 pages below 1 and 2. I think it's 14 and 15. So we're on page 14, which is page 3 to me. But this way I will be stitching the 2 top pages to bottom pages, and I think I'm going to do that all the way across. Yeah, I'm going to do that all the way across. That way I finish that top like whole shelf instead of having to do all the rows like that, because that's a lot of rows. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8 rows across, and I was not feeling that. Oh, I think Cupcake Dreams is 1/1 full across the 28 count, by the way. Totally forgot that. This is 1/1 10th stitch on 32 count. I did it that way to make it go a little quicker and to shrink it some. So I am at 2.40%. I have stitched 17,150 stitches out of 713,286. So that's pretty cool. And I really started majorly stitching it this year. I restarted it last year because I had started it on 28 count, 1/1 full cross, and didn't like it. This is where we are. I am so proud of this. So proud of this. I was so proud to see this armor start playing in right here, because I didn't think that's what it was, because it's very purple in the pattern, but on camera it totally looks great, and it's just been really fun. It's been a lot of fun. And yes, I am still doing my 10 by 10 blocks of stair stepping. I'm not seeing any lines or anything like that. I haven't seen any lines yet as I'm starting to do these pages where they're connecting. My tension is very well. I can show you back if you want to see what that looks like for a supersized. This is the back. It's kind of interesting. It's not overly messy per se in my book. I think it's rather neat. But all my stitches go the same way. I start with like the bottom-most stitch when I park and go all the way to the top, and 9 times out of 10 that will give me like the biggest filled in colors will get filled in last. So that's really cool. It's definitely like, it's very, very interesting. There's not been any boring parts yet, so that's really fun. I've really enjoyed that. The next thing that I worked on is an oldie but goodie. It's also from Etsy, from Santa Cross Stitch, which is a house piece that y'all have seen a lot of. This piece, I worked on it for 2 days. I worked on it for 2 days. It's this lovely little Mickey Minnie. Now mine does not look like this. Mine is a little bit oriented differently. This is the correct orientation. I had a little fabric-y thing, as you do, and so I had to orient mine a little different, which is fine, because I'm not mad about that. 2 days on Mickey and Minnie saw me stitch 895 stitches, and it saw me finish a page, actually, which was page 13. So here's mine. Mine is oriented in a square because I have not enough fabric down below. It was only going to leave me like this much edge on that side, and I have more edge on this end. I will have about this much on this end, so it will give me a better chance to frame. I have no idea what happened there, but we are where we are, and it's fine. So the only thing that I have had to do is extra, like, stitching this black edge that would have been already pre-stitched. This part would have already been pre-stitched, but I have to stitch it across so it's not getting counted in when I stitch. But I'm not mad about it, because if I would have, it might be a little extra, but it'll make it nice, and I really like that. So I completed page 13, which is mostly Mickey face with his little kissies, and then I started in on page 14. This one is 2/1/10 stitch on 25 count. So this is my favorite way to do 10 stitch. I love 25 count 2/1. I just feel the coverage is better and it just lays nicer. So this is my baby. It's got a little dirt there, but we're gonna be fine. I can't wait to get this done. I've been working on weaving in my ends down here where I had parked, thinking that I would be still going, and so I've been weaving those in and snipping and going, but it's so cute. If you see any lines through some of it, which you might, I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see lines through there. That is just from the fabric. That is not like tension issue. That is from the fabric show through. That is where the grid lines are showing through the light, the white in the pattern. This pattern only has 12 colors, which is really fun, and it's not boring. It's really not. I honestly thought I would get bored of this really quick, but it's just not. And it's really easy to just go with a lot of the big blocks, which is really nice breaks in time. So it's right there. For those of you who like the statistics and numbers, I am at 56.94%. So we are over the halfway mark, which is fantastic for me. And I have stitched 49,967 stitches out of 87,750 stitches. I love this piece. It has had meanings behind it whenever I first picked it and was working on it, but it's still just really cute, and it may not hold the same sentiments anymore, but it is a cute piece, and I'm still going to finish it regardless of the sentiments or not, because it's mine, and that's all that matters to me. It's mine. Nobody can take that from me. is Mickey and Minnie. This month I'm hoping to finish the next page, if not the next 2 pages. We shall see. It just depends on how my little heart says what I'm going to work on. Because right now it's thinking it's July, which means I should pull out some Christmassy stuff, right? Well, I'll tell you what. I started Christmas in July early, and it was at the end of June. I pulled out one of the Christmas ones that I started the end of last year, I think. And she didn't get very much work into her, and she still hasn't got a whole lot into her yet. But we're getting there. We've started getting more things. Of course, the problem that I had whenever I started it was I didn't have all my colors in my DMC set yet. And I have since completed my master set, so I have all the colors of DMC now. This is Minnie Festive Feline, which is by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is Lisa Parker, I believe. Lisa. Yes, I have all my charts in my Google Drive, and Heaven and Earth Designs. Each artist has a folder for each pattern that I have of theirs. So just so you know, it's a lot. Yep, Lisa Parker. This is what it will look like when it is completed one day. Don't know when. It's already got some really nice detail for it being a mini, so that's a plus for me. I just liked Christmas and its cat with a candy cane in its mouth, and the tree and all the fun stuff. I like those things. I only worked on it one day, and it got 389 stitches on that day. It is worked 1/1/10 stitch on 32 count, as you can tell. This is a favorite of mine to stitch. It is sitting at 1.16%, and I've only completed 700 stitches out of 60,300. But we have a nice little corner going on, and just look at this. This is a candle, you guys, in the tree. That was pretty cool. And this is the start of the ribbons at the top with the garland that's at the top of the picture. Yeah. So that's really fun. I love it. I do. I love the colors. I love the fact that it's already showing up, like, sorry if that totally just damaged your ears, because I totally just bopped my microphone. That was so fun. Not. But I love the colors. I love that it's already showing up things in it, and this bit that was like greeny blues, there's already that first little branch of the tree that's in. It's just, this is why I like miniatures, and I like stuff. I don't mind background and things with background, as you'll find out in just a minute. But it's just, some stuff, just when you start it, you do it because you love the piece, but then other things are just like, there's so much going on that you're like, oh, I need that, and it's so cool. So I have a few pieces that are literally just stitched for the fact, A, the color palette was something that I really needed in my life, and B, it was just like, there was no rhyme or reason behind the image other than I just needed to stitch it. That's all it was. So it wasn't like, I didn't look at it and go, oh, it's gonna go on my wall. I can't, as you can see, I have a Heaven and Earth design that is over there that's been over there since like 2015. It's kind of halfway done. A, it's old because it's on a paper pattern, because it was retired when I bought it. I had gotten the pattern, and it's like one of the sisters, because there's 3, but I only got 2, and I'm not a fan of the 3rd one, so that's fine by me. But I got it, and I was like, oh, that would be so pretty, like framed in the living room, like color scheme that I have, that I want in my head. No whining. You were doing so good. I've learned. I don't like this fabric for such a big project. I like it for little things, but, and then when it comes in kits. Past that, I don't like it. It's a paper chart, so there's that. But it's something that I probably never would have chosen for myself to cross stitch, as I have learned what things I like to stitch. And that style is not it. So whenever I get this one done, when I get it done, it'll be beautiful. And I will stitch the other one because they are a set. They have to go together. But I'm debating on the way to stitch it so that it will kind of be the same size. It might be a little bigger just because I don't want to stitch another one on this size of fabric again. So that's a total different story. But either way, which that brings me down to the last two things that I worked on, which are actually new starts. Oops. So I had ordered fabric after ordering a chart, and I was like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and get 2 other pieces of fabric for 2 other charts that I might like. Well, I made a oopsie and ordered the wrong size for the 2 other patterns. That I got the first one right, but the 2 others were wrong, so I kind of had to figure out something else to put on one of these pieces of fabric, and then I'm able to put one of the patterns that I originally wanted to stitch on one of the other ones on one. So I've got 2 that worked out and 1 that I had to figure out what to put on there. But I'll go ahead and start off with showing you this first one that I'm going to show you. I bought the pattern because it looks like my dog, and I needed it. And this is Artecy's Bloodhound is what it's called, and it's by Deemer. So my dog's a Basset Shepherd, but this totally looks like her. She has the same face. The eyes are exactly the same. So I was just like, we're doing it. I've never stitched an Artecy pattern, by the way, so this is my first one, which is exciting. So I started it on Thursday, January 27th. We're not really that far in. We're literally just in the background. All the way down to the bottom. The pattern keeper of me. I've only done 261 stitches, and that is because I think they knock out, like, I think they take out a stitch off the edge, which is a little weird. But hey, I'm going with it. This is 2/1 tent stitch on 25 count. I had to remind myself what I bought. It's 25 count. So this is where we are. Whoa. This is where I am. Just a little bit. Ow! If you heard that, that was my hip. That hurt. I really like. I kind of enjoyed this. It's a little weird because it's all pink right now for the background, but I think it's going to be really fun once I hit all the colors and the. Pardon, I've been awake since 10 after 5. But I think it's going to be really, really fun once I hit the dog in it, and it's just going to be such a blast. Now, I'm going to take this out of my hoop because this was the oopsie piece of fabric that I bought for a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. And the reason it's an oopsie is because, and I've made this mistake before, you'd think I'd learn, but apparently I don't. So they put the fabric size, right? The size it should be on the fabric, like on 25 count. So I bought that size fabric. And I went, there ain't no way, y'all, that this, like, there ain't no way you gonna fit what I was gonna put on this piece of fabric, There was just no way. My brain went, there's no way it's not that small. So what I realized, and I've got to make sure I remember this and stash it away in my brain, is that that size that they give for the fabric is the size of the stitched area and not the collective like size of fabric. And I've made this oopsie before and I know it, and it just now registered that I've done this before, and I just kind of went with it. Oh well, that's how I wound up with like some really tight edges for some stuff, and we're just kind of rolling with it now. Yep, we're just rolling with it. However, what I decided to put on here is called it is a little Disney piece, and by little I mean it's super duper small. It's only 6,587 stitches, and I have done 1,067. I worked on it for 2 days so far. Started it on the 20th. Did I say that it was on the 27th? It's the 29th. I started Bloodhound and this one on the 29th. This is called Love American Flag Colors Tartan is what it's called. I'm just calling it Mickey Love, which is wrong in all of its ways because it's Minnie Mouse and not Mickey Mouse. So it is just, you know, Disney Love. Let's just go with that. But it's this little cute little thing. I think this was also Xana Cross Stitch. I bought a lot from her. I have no idea. I think this was Xana Cross Stitch. I did get it off at Etsy. Don't remember how much it cost. It wasn't very expensive. I mean, obviously. The gray in the background is not stitched. It's not even on the pattern. It's literally just the letters and the mouse head with the bow. That's all it is. I am sitting at 16.20%, and this is all I have right now. That's all I've done. So yeah, I have this white bit is all stitched so far. I started on the letter L, and we've gotten through. This is the top. Yeah, this is the highest it will go, and I mean that's the first ear. There's his head and the start of the L. It's really not. It's on 2 over 110 stitch on 25 count as well. It's super cute though. Like the pattern is amazingly fun to work. I don't know why it's so fun, but it's fun. Glad is fun to stitch. Didn't know that until I started working on this one. So we're just doing that. I had thought originally whenever I got my fabric, I had thought that I was going to do this one on one, and I was taking out all of the background, which is the dark blue, because that one's all in there. But I decided I'm not going to stitch this on the other fabric. I'm going to stitch it on, I'll find something else to stitch it on. Even if all I did was stitch it on navy, we're okay. That might be what I do. I might have to get a navy to stitch that on. Anywho, that is all of my things. And I still gabbed for like 50 minutes. How does that happen? I have no idea how that happens. There's only 4 colors in that little Mickey Mouse, little Love Mickey, which is why it's uber fun to work on. So little things, I'm not sure as far as plans. I don't really have plans for my stitching other than just to work on my supersized piece. That's gonna happen. I do have these, so these are a little old download, like little old files from I think it's Full Coverage Fanatics, where they did the little around the Disney theme parks. But I think there were only 4. So I printed out those and I started kind of trying to do a little bit with those to see what I can complete for some stuff. Now some projects projects or some parts have 2 pieces that are going to be worked on for those things, and some only have 1. Some of them are really big amounts, and some are smaller, so that will kind of even itself out. But I'm just hoping I can just take these at my own pace and create progress through certain projects and either complete some projects or just make some really decent progress on projects. That's the idea with those for me. The next video that I was thinking of doing was possibly a WIP parade. However, that would be like the monstrous video for me to try to do, because I don't have before pictures from when I did the WIP parade last year, and I did it in May, and this is June. I think I did it in May, and even then I missed some pieces and it was over an hour long. So I'm not really sure if I want to do that or not. I'm not sure if anybody would be interested in that or not, because that would be just something to think about, I guess. Something for me to think about, because I have absolutely no clue. I kind of want to, but at the same time I kind of don't, because I know I have like 60-something projects and not everything gets touched. Not everything has been touched in a long time. There's some stuff that's just been sitting in the same place for a while. But I may not do one this year. I may wait and do a collective WIP parade at the end of this year and then try to get into the groove of that. I think that may be what I'll do. So okay, I think I have an idea. I'm not going to give it away, but I'll do like a huge WIP parade at the end of the year. I will say that much. I won't be doing a mid-year, because I mean we're already in the 7th month. Let's be real. So that's not going to happen. But I will do one at the end of the year, so I will give you that. I will have to mark that in my calendar, so that way I know what I'm doing. But I think I may, yeah, I think I have an idea. We're gonna leave it there and just let you guys think, what is her idea? Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. I know I felt like I talked really, really fast, and I probably did. Excuse me. It's because I'm tired. And I was trying not to have an hour-long video, but guess what? We do. It's fine. Anywho, I'm going to say goodbye and see you all in 2 weeks.